Oops. Yeah. So I was sitting back home with the camera. You practice like yeah. That's what I was having.
Salute, salute. Welcome to Skywalker Boxing Media. Team Mo Boxing, no problem. We got a special show tonight. We got Andres Rey. We got the whole team in the house. Jacob Maes, his manager, and we have his trainer and coach, David Martinez. We're gonna have a special show. We got Papi Chunyeyo in the house. How you doing, brother?
Man, you already know it's Poppy Chunyeyo. Heavy on the poppy, light on the mayo. I mean, light on the yayo.
And we got 86 boxing historian and referee and Marine veteran. How you doing, brother?
I'm so flattered by you saying that, Skywalker. I just like history, but hey, I'm happy to be here and welcome you all. It's a great opportunity right here to speak with some gentlemen holding it down in Albuquerque.
Nice, man. This is a special show, man. We got one of the hottest prospects in Albuquerque. We got a manager that's putting them, keeping them busy, putting them on some big shows. We're talking about co-main events on a world title fight. The fight before this fight, a first round knockout in a sold out house. It just keeps getting better and better for Andres Rey. Andres, can you introduce yourself, man? Tell everybody how you got into boxing, where you're from, and how this all started for you.
Well, I'm originally from El Paso, Texas, and I first started getting into boxing because of my dad. He's always just liked like the sport and fighting and stuff. So he would have me box kids in town. You know, just random kids, and that's how it started. Then I first joined a boxing club when I was like 11 years old, and ever since then I just been in and out, here and there training. Then once once my big moms got pregnant, I started wanting to, you know what I mean, take it serious and stuff.
Definitely.
At what point did you know that boxing was going to be the thing that was going to occupy your life? At what point?
Damn. Honestly, I just got, you know what I mean, like addicted to it. So I stayed with it, and I felt like that was the best thing that I was at. So the thing that I was best at. So I just stuck with it.
Okay, so would it be fair to say that you're actually doing something that you love?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when I'm not in the gym, it feels like my days are super long. Like I don't have nothing going on. I need to be in the gym.
All right, I want to say one more thing before I pass it to Josh. To the people, our audience members, you guys know that we're really big into psychology and well-being and things like this. Boxing just happens to be something that provides discipline. It puts structure in your life, and it could put you in a mental space to make you be able to focus and do things right. So that answer you gave was brilliant, man. And thanks for that.
Oh yeah, good stuff there. Yeah, and Andreas, I just wanted to know in terms of sort of the background end of it. Did you do anything on the amateur side, or how many amateur fights?
I had about like 19 amateur fights.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I got golden gloves, state golden gloves twice. I went to regionals, and one of the times when I was going to regionals, that's when COVID hit, so I didn't get to do much.
Have you felt anything with this transition here to the pro ranks compared to when you were an amateur?
Man, I feel like the amateurs was tougher. You know what I mean? You only have like 5 hours to rehydrate and do all that stuff, get yourself back together. So I like the pro way more.
Good to go.
Plus, he's got some heavy hands. He be dropping all his opponents, man, every time he steps in that ring. I want to tell you guys a little history of Andres too in Albuquerque. The reason a lot of people have their eyes on him. Respect to Maximus, man. Maximus was supposed to be the next big thing out of Albuquerque. This fighter's really good, training in a tough gym. Man, this guy, man, fought two wars with this guy, man, and showed Albuquerque that that he's the goods, man. And I think ever since you beat him twice too. So everybody, man, just kept their eyes on him. Now with Jacob in his corner, he's taking him to El Paso. He fought on an amazing card, bro. On Stephanie Hahn's world title fight, and they made him the co-main event. I don't know how you pulled the strings on that, Jacob, but he made Andreas was the co-main event on a spectacular card, and the fight was entertaining. Had the whole Coliseum was packed. It was kind of like a big show, bro, for being. I know it's El Paso. I've been to Top Rank. I've been to PBC fights, but man, you want to talk about a sold-out Coliseum, everybody yelling. Man, that must have been. Can you tell everybody about that experience in El Paso, Andres, this last time where you got a chance to fight in your hometown?
It was crazy, especially being ended up being the main co-main. It was crazy how that happened, but I felt really good, being able to put on a show for everybody out there and for the promoters and stuff, especially.
Yeah, we had it was a King's promotion. Marshall Hoffman out of Pennsylvania. I don't know if you guys know Marshall.
Yeah.
But it's his show, and we communicated, and I know him through. I had a fighter with Gary Shaw, and his son Travis was on the same show, a couple of shows with us together. So we got to know Marshall and developed a real relationship and stayed in touch. And when I seen him doing that show in El Paso, well, it was no brainer. He's from El Paso. Marshall's putting the show on down there. That's he gave us the opportunity, and we matched him up tough with a tough guy out of Guadalajara, just to show everybody what we had to work with and what he has, and he passed the test, and it was a test. So, yeah.
Hey, look, man, I put the Pro Se hat on just so I can have something to take off, right? I take my hat off literally to people who are from places like Albuquerque and El Paso, and you find a way to make it, and you don't end up with a criminal record, you don't end up in the drugs, you don't end up getting shot, you don't end up getting involved with gangs and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So hat is definitely off to you guys. Jacob, I wanted to ask you, it seems like you have your tentacles into everything. I want to ask you a question about how is it that you find yourself in the room with all of these different entities? Is that just something that you're just good at? Because you've mentioned you talked about the PBC, you talked about various promoters, various champions. Like, how is it that you always find yourself in the right room?
Blessed. Okay, I grew up when I was a kid. I trained at a small boxing club in Milan, New Mexico. Near Grants, 75 miles west of Albuquerque. And there, his trainer, Sergio Chavez, he's not with us. He has some health issues right now that he's dealing with. And so David's here with us and moving forward. But, I was big into boxing as a kid. My mother was a nurse, so she didn't really like it and got us out of the gym. But it's always been my passion, and I grew up with all my friends boxed, and one of them, Luis Chavez, he trains Angelo Leo. He's my friend Sergio's cousin, and he got me into managing in 2002. I don't know, I go to the gym and watch him train his fighters, and he asked me, he had a girl, and there's a local promoter he didn't want to work with no more, and he told me, Jacob, I need help with this girl. Do you want to manage her? And I was like, well, I don't know. I could try. He said, well, I'm asking you for two reasons. One, I know you can do it. Two, I trust you. Let's do it. So next thing you know, we're fighting Melinda Cooper, Mariana Juarez, some of the biggest names in women boxing back in 2002, 3. And from there, I made my connections because I was building for amateur archery markets. And so it was perfect because I didn't have to call nobody. They were calling me because she was a female, and so that's where I made my connections. Goose and Tudor, got Goodman top rank. I started building bridges, and like I say, good people attract good people. I've been blessed to work with good people. And Goose and Tudor, Tom Brown, we ended up throwing the show in Santa Fe on ESPN Friday Night Fights. Uh, ended up throwing the show with Tom Brown and Dan Goosen. Well, did I say that? Yeah, in Santa Fe. And then we did Showtime with Gary Shaw, and I met Sam Watson. I had I had a fighter, Alpo Garcia. He was similar to Andres, 20 amateur fights. We got him into position. We fought Vernon Forrest, Raul Marquez, Eric Reagan out of Sacramento. We fought some big fights, 20 amateur fights, and we fought world champions, Olympians. We're no joke over here.
Okay.
And Andres is similar, and I think we got a roadmap. We know. I always say to get to where you're going, you have to know you have to know where you want to go, right? So we know where we want to go, and we just gotta follow the map.
Hey Josh, before I pass it on, let me ask him one more thing. I just want to piggyback off of that. Obviously we want to make sure that our audience understands the person that's actually on the other end of the interview. It's not about us, it's about you guys. We want people to understand who you guys are. So that's where this next question leads. What part about managing what is it about managing that you're so in love with? What part about it? What's the best part of it for you?
Like I said, I was in a gym when I was young, and I've been to gyms watching my friends train and watching fighters. And what my passion is, these guys work hard. There's a lot of fighters who work hard and they never get an opportunity. Andres was in that position before we got together. He wasn't getting the opportunity, but he's in the gym day in, day out, first one in, first one out. And to watch him not get an opportunity is heartbreaking. The way we got together is there's a fighter, Mike Albuquerque. I used to manage him. I managed him to 6-0, and then someone else had bigger dreams for him. They went a different direction, but we've always kept in touch. And he started off managing Andres, and he just couldn't get the wheels in motion. So he called me and said, "Hey Jacob, we need help. This kid's good. Take a look at him. He's a good guy. He needs help." So we met because for me to work with someone, there has to be a connection, 'cause I'm passionate about what I do. So I have to connect with someone to let that passion flow. You know what I'm saying? Makes sense?
It does.
And so now we met, and he's a great young man whom I'm very proud of, and I work day in day out to help him help him and help his dreams come true. Yeah, like I said, there's fighters who don't get their opportunities, and that's what I take pride in, is helping them get their opportunities.
Awesome. Hey, that's a decorated background there, Jacob. No, thanks for sharing for sure. I wanted to touch on something you brought up just because we just recently actually did an interview with a female fighter. And you mentioned there you're starting to managing. There was a fighter on the women's side there, right? So we always say that in terms of like right now, I see a lot saying that, hey, these opportunities have increased for the women. You're someone who was there early 2000. Would you say that you've seen an increase in terms of women being elevated on different platforms just based on what it was like for you when you started out with this fighter that you were with?
Yeah, definitely. They've come a long way, but it was managing a female was tough for me because I seen her go through a few wars, and you know I respect the women boxers just like I do the men, but I haven't been involved with a woman since her, and because I've seen I've seen some tough fights, and I I don't know, I just enjoy men's boxing better, but I support the women 100%.
Understand. So yeah, that's interesting insight there. But yeah, I guess it shows that yeah, hey, they've been bringing it, and some of them they have an elevated platform. So we are seeing more of uh,
Yeah.
women doing their thing here in the sport, and I think that's creating opportunities, which is certainly a good thing there. Now, in terms of your role, do you do training as well there, Jacob? Have you been involved with training and support in that area?
No, sir. No, sir. I I work with the coaches. We analyze fighters and we make decisions and and then, I'll get involved a little bit, but the coach's job is to train. My job is to know where they're at, know where we want to go, and know where we're going next. Like I tell Andres, your job is to focus on this fight. My job is to look at the next
Oh
one.
yeah.
So we're putting a
Yeah.
roadmap together. Like I said, we have a plan, we have a map, and we know where we want to be. So my job is to help guide us there. And Andres' job is to fight. Coach's job is to coach, and we
Speaking of
try to
the
work together.
speaking of the coach, Jacob, he's very wise and very particular who he wants to train Andreas. Um, David, can you tell him a little bit about yourself, your background in boxing, and what you've accomplished in boxing?
Yeah. First off, I'm humbled to be in this spot. There's tons of other trainers that can be in the spot, but I'm I'm up, so it's my time. But as an amateur, I had over 100 fights. Won few national titles. I was a U.S. champion in 2001. I beat Jason Litzall in the finals. Jason Litzall was a big name in
Yep.
pro game at one time. Um, I won a few things, and then I turned pro in 2001. I had my daughter at an early age and got offered to turn pro, and I said, what, I compete easier with with some money instead of with trophies. So that's the route we went. Um, at that time, I lived in California, and that's where I was winning all my national titles and stuff. But I have a lot of family here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. My grandma and grandpa had 16 kids. So they thought it'd be a good marketing strategy to move out this way and sell out crowds. And that's exactly what we did. I fought under, Danny Romero, Johnny Tapia, those guys. And I got to meet Jacob along the way. And, like he was saying, as far as, roads and stuff like that, our roads cross paths. And here we are today, just years later. But that's just how God works.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hey, tell him about Nonito and Andre Ward, man, too.
So Andre Ward and I, we both and Nonito and Robert Guerrero, we all grew up together in the amateurs. Like I said, I come from California, so I have pictures. I should have sent them to you early, man. So you could just post them up there.
Put him up there,
And,
yeah.
that we to this day we still keep in touch. It's cool, and they got some road titles and stuff like that. The other day, Skywalker and I we were out there, and I was like, "Look, Nonito says what's up." I
Oh,
said,
yeah. That's my bro Nonito, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
a few years down the line, we're gonna be doing the same thing with
Same
Andre.
thing with Andreas, and that's like that every weekend. Every weekend, at my point now, every weekend I know someone that's fighting, bro. Every single card, I personally know that person. I've communicated. I've had an interview with them. I've met them at a fight. You know what I'm saying? The boxing community is kind of close knit and small, man. And you'd be surprised, man. As long as you follow that blueprint that Jacob has, because he's done it before. It's possible to become a world champ, bro. You're in the right track and with the right people right now too.
Something about boxing is like there's so many different characters, so many different people along the way, and with so many different characteristics. But something that I like about Andres is he has the main characteristic that you can't teach somebody in the gym. You can't teach that, and he's got heart.
Yeah.
He's got heart. And let me tell you, if you go over there to go watch him, you're gonna get your money's worth.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your money's worth. He comes in here day in and day out. He trains hard, and my job that where he comes in at 99%, I push him that extra 2%, and we get above that 100. He's gonna come in and work, and whoever comes in there better be ready.
All right. Well, check this out. Or I mean, you go ahead. I can hold.
Just to interject, you know, when I saw him when he beat the kid from Albuquerque, Skywalker was talking about,
Yeah.
you know, I tell people he's got things you can't teach. Like David said, son, you can't teach. He's got the heart.
Yeah.
He's got the balls. He's got the work ethic. You know, can't teach that. He's the first one in the gym, the last one out, the hardest worker. I mean, he's got the formula. You know, all he lacked is experience, but he's getting the experience, and we got the right. We're sharpening those tools, and people better watch out for Andres because he's coming.
That's for sure.
Facts.
Yeah.
Hey, well, this question right here is based off of what I've heard from you, David, and you, Andres. So I heard both of you mention having a child, right? I want to know, you know, from both of you, all three of you possibly, what did having a child do for your focus, as far as you nailing down exactly what you want to do and just getting it done? Like what about it?
Well, I wanted to show my daughter different than what I seen growing up. You know what I mean? So I figured go as hard as I can and do as best as I can to give her a good life. And so that's like my main thing. After every fight, I take my week off and give her whatever she wants, and just dedicate it to her. You know what I mean? 'Cause she's always in the gym with me too, and she goes to run with me. Like she don't really run, but she'll watch me do my sprints. She'll wait for me while I'm cutting weight. You know what I mean? So I do my best to just provide her the best that I can.
And we thank her all the time for sharing her dad with us, because you know that's what she does. We give her flowers, we thank her, and she's a beautiful young lady, and she's understanding, supportive of her dad, and we're just honored. I'm just honored to work with this family. I tell you that.
And all the kids in the community love Andreas too. My daughter's a huge fan. Roots for you at your fights. You gonna say hi to Andreas?
Hi.
Right?
Say what up, champ?
What's up, champ?
She's gonna have a fight soon too in the summertime.
Awesome.
Yeah, keep an eye out for her. She's killing it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but big fan right here. A lot of kids like Andreas too, man. You know what I mean? The community really likes Andreas. He's got a good character, man. Like family man. Just a very nice guy, and like you said, hard worker, man. Everybody knows you can't teach hard, so definitely got that quota. That's how we say it out here. You got that quota check, bro.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. But no, that is definitely good stuff right there. I wanted to go back there to David. Of course, you mentioned the name Jason Litsaw. Yeah, very solid fighter right there. So, hey, that's a good win for you there, for sure. I know exactly who you're talking about. I wanted to ask, in terms of you being in the sport, while you were going through the process, did you always know that you were going to get into the training side of it, or was that something you were always doing as you were in the gym?
I'm a big boxing fan, just as much as I am a boxer and now
Yeah.
trainer. I'm a big boxing fan. That this is just something I love to do, you know. And what brought me back, I gave up boxing. What ended up happening is I got a torn retina in my right eye in the IBF eliminator versus Yoni Perez,
Okay.
and in that eliminator, things just changed for me. He went on to win the IBF world title. I went on to get a full-time job. And then after that, I come here to the gym and stuff. But my son needed a place to get out of trouble, and this happened to be it because it was it for me. And along the way, Andres was there, and I was blessed with the opportunity to just jump into that spot. And so this is where I'm at now.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
you know, there's a lot of things that fall into place, and we're starting off with a solid foundation is where we got to go, and then we build from there. Without that solid foundation, everything just crumbles. So you know, when he comes back into the gym, we're gonna start from scratch, and we're gonna go right back to building again.
Oh yeah, that's awesome right there. And just speaking from just being around here, so I'm in DC. So and I'm involved with amateur boxing, and I see, I go to a lot of the gyms around here, and that team behind them, that foundation, as you mentioned there, I think that is one of the biggest things there in the sport, because there are a lot of turns, twists and turns that could come about, but you all having gone through it as a fighter, manager, I think that's a plus side there for Andres for sure.
Yeah, that's right.
His son's sharp too, man. Like he just had his debut. Man, that kid looks good, man. Shout out to David Martinez the third, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be coming.
Yeah, he'll be coming. Along the way too, considering the foundation and building, there's a lot of winds and storms and stuff like that's going to come from each side, and that's something that I pressed on Andres in his last fight. I said just stay focused, and don't take your eyes off the rock. Just stay focused, and all these winds and rains and everything, he stayed focused, and he got that guy out there in the first round. That's the real shout outs to this guy right here. That's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, shout out to Ray Lopez too.
Yeah.
Ray Lopez and my friends they know Matt the Diamond Boy Griego. This is his gym right here, Josh, in the back. This is where Matt trains. This is where Matt trains at right here.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll be noticing that Tapia poster back there. Keeps catching my eye.
Yeah.
You know what? I got a question.
If you could. Oh yeah, no, you can't.
Sorry. I got a question for you, Jacob, David, Andres, any of you guys. Where are the documentaries at, bro? Like, your stories need to be out there. Your story. If you put your story out there in a documentary form, some kid. I mean, they're gonna watch this interview at some point in the future. Some kid may see your documentary and be like, "Oh man, well he was able to do it. I could do it too." You know what I mean?
Well, we're still building the story. When it's done, there'll be one.
Okay.
We're still writing it. We've only begun.
Yeah, don't let somebody else write it for you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, can you tell them the history of that? Because Josh is all about the history. A lot of his audience that's tuning in love history. Can you tell them the history of this gym that you guys are in right here? Just a little bit of the chat. It's Bob Foster's birthday today. I want to bring that up. Rest in peace, Bob Foster. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's his birthday today. But rest in power, champ.
So this gym was made by Tom Craigle. May he rest in peace. But we named it after his father, who was John S. Craigle. So it is called the JSC Memorial. Right before one of my very last fights, before I got the torn retina, the gym was made, and we were using it for a training camp. And then unfortunately we can't use it no more because I had to retire. But we do train kids out of this gym. We train pros out of this gym. Recently I got a kid who was training here. His mom came in and said, "Hey, he's not gonna be able to train today. His grades went bad." He didn't come in for a week. He didn't come in for a week, and I told him when your grades come up, then you can come back. His grades came up quick, man. And now he's doing this thing over here. And same thing with my son. My son was getting into some trouble, and he was like, "Dad," he goes, "I want to fight." I didn't want him to do it because of my past, and stuff like that. But I said, "All right, you know what? You want to do this? Let's do this." So brought him to the gym, and he stays out of trouble when he comes here. He stays out of trouble. He stays so much out of trouble that he don't even go home and play the Xbox. He's too tired, so he passes out. That's what I want. So that's what this is about. And again, like I said, we got very positive people like Andres here who are inspiring my son. We got people like Matt Grable that are inspiring my son. It's just working out great. And also, the gym is built on my uncle Ray Lopez's property. So, at any time, if he really wanted to, he could just say, "You know what? I can't do this no more. I can't have people coming here." But he keeps it open to the community. He keeps it open for kids, kids that could be doing other things. Yeah. So shout out to him as well.
Yeah. Hey Josh, you're a historian. I got a little history for you. So when Sam Watson and Al Heyman got into boxing, their first client was Vernon Forrest. Well, their first opponent was Alpo Garcia, my fighter. And that's how me and Sam Watson connected. We keep in touch to this day. and that's how I met Sam. And in fact, I met the Guzins because they promoted the first show with Vernon Forrest and us down in Temecula. And it was a hell of a fight. Went 10 rounds, most controversial finish of the year. Look it up. Alco Garcia, Vernon Forrest. But,
Burning Forest?
yeah, we fought
Yeah.
Vernon Forrest. 20
Hey,
amateur
Vernon
fights.
Burton was a beast.
We fought
Yeah.
Vernon. And we did well. In fact, we
Yeah.
dropped him. You got to watch it. It's
All right.
See,
Good stuff right there. That is funny right there. So y'all Vernon and hey Sam, yeah, we used to. I know we used to always just see him in the ring and wondering who is this guy right here. He's just in there. But then
Yeah.
eventually finding out who he was and all of that stuff, and then his sons and everything. That's pretty cool.
I knew who he was since day one because I was his first opponent. And I got a story I like to tell about Sam. They were bringing up Earl Spence out of Dallas. And,
Mhm.
I went over there, I was walking through the lobby, and Sam sees me. And, Jacob, come here. Tell these guys how you know me. And so I tell him the Vernon Forrest story. And so Sam tells me, you got tickets? I was like, yeah. He said, well, just meet me in the lobby tomorrow, and we'll be going with me. So I go with him and tell him, you can sit anywhere you want, Jacob. Anywhere. Go sit anywhere. So I go sit down front row. It was at the Ford Center there
Mhm.
in Dallas. And he comes up to me, Sam comes up to me, Jacob, I told you could sit anywhere you want, but these are Jerry Jones's seats. Well, Sam, I'm going to sit when he comes, okay? He said, okay. But when he comes, you gotta move. This is his house. I said, okay, Sam, it's his house. I'll move. So, no, Sam's a good guy, And Bab Goodman out of Top Rank, him and I met when my first girl fought Melinda Cooper. And we were good friends. And he helped me debut my kid over here, Arturo Marquez, on one of their shows. When a local fighter, Ray Sanchez, fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Then I made connections that I've kept the last 25 years, and they brought us to Andres, and that's what got us in El Paso, is through Marshall, and yeah, I've just been blessed, to make good. And I always tell people, good people attract good people. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And that's how we work. We just treat people like we want to be treated, and it seems to be a good formula.
I'm curious. I mean, I feel like, with the success of the fighters that have come out of that particular gym, that you guys would be having to just turn people away because you would have so many people there trying to do what you guys are doing. Are you saying that that's not the case?
Well, like with me, I have a few fighters reaching out to me now, but I've always been selective. Like I said,
Yeah.
I have to be passionate about who I'm working with. Just like with Andres, before I said okay, I met him. In fact, he went out, seen what I was doing, worked with me for a day, talked, and I found out who he was and what he was about. And you can't help but love a man like that, and help him achieve his goals. But I get fighters coming to me, but I'm selective. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of investment to move somebody. So,
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let me translate something for you guys. I did that on purpose, right? What you really just heard is trainers, managers, the whole entirety of the environment that these fighters are in is really like family oriented, right?
He's a
You
different
have
type of
people
man.
that are investing their emotions and their time into a fighter.
Hey, catch this. I want to tell you something about Jacob that I noticed that's different from other managers that I've met in the past. Jacob will show up to the gym with his fighter, bro. And he's there just like a coach, bro. Like, even though he's not, like he said, that's not his position, but he's there with his fighter like a relationship, bro. Like, him and Andreas are pulling up to the gym. When I go meet them for media, they're a team. You know what I mean? That's what I like about how he's operating, and I like that he has the connections to get him outside of Albuquerque, bro. Go down the road a little ways and put on a show. A big ass coliseum. And to do that for a fighter in Albuquerque, bro, that's amazing.
Mhm.
He's putting these fighters on a big stage, and we got to back that, man. We got to make sure that our Albuquerque fighters can come back home as world champs, like Angelo Leo did. You know what I mean? And it might take you guys having to go to Las Vegas, going to Tennessee, going wherever to fight, right? Going out of the country, maybe. But you know, you can always bring that back home, bro. You know, and we can put Albuquerque on the map with boxing. Things got to change. You know, we got to get some things in order. We got to get the pit ready for a big show with world champs. But we're starting to produce world champs, man. You know, Stephanie Hahn in El Paso, she did her thing that night. You know, Andreas got to see her become a world champ, fighting as a co-main event on her card. And so the sky's the limit for Andreas, bro. Like he's having real good success, bro, already, man. At 5-0,
We're back in El Paso July 12th.
it's already got another.
We're going to step up a little bit, you know. Like I told Andres, his job is one fight at a time. My job is look ahead and follow the plan. But all I tell people all the time, all he lacks is experience. So, you know, but I never want to build a fighter and build on false hope. And the first time they get in a real fight, they don't know how to act. So trust me, we've been in our first fight, we're in the real fight. Second fight, we got past a veteran of 18 fights, something like that. This next fight, we'll step up a little bit again, and but we're not going to build them on false hope. We're gonna build them steady and strong.
So Jacob, have you ever? I mean, man, you rubbed elbows with the best of the best in the business, but have you ever run into trouble attracting sponsorship opportunities for your fighters?
No, not really at all. I from the beginning, like with Ivana, we had good sponsorship, and you know, and I just hired someone now to help us get sponsors with Andres. But me, I don't. In the past, with Archie, we had a show at Tingley Coliseum, you know, and I had to put up 50 G just to get the show over here, and I had sponsorships done, and I had one sponsor that we got it done with, you know, and so you know, sponsorships never been an issue with us because one thing about us, we bring to the table is we bring our fan base, we bring the excitement, and we bring the buzz. There's a buzz in this city for a reason, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, we never have a problem getting sponsorship or creating a buzz. That's why we're here.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, that's good to go. And just thinking about it from that Albuquerque perspective, I'd imagine it was a big thing. You mentioned buzz. I know Angelo Leo, he defended a title, his world title there. So I'd imagine that just has probably sparked up even more interest in and around Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they're gonna be talking about Albuquerque like, you know, I used to talk about Boston. You know what I'm saying? Like Title City. Like it just seems like there's a lot of big fight energy there in Albuquerque. I've seen it, you know, UFC stuff. Now the boxers are like, wait a minute, hey, we throw hands here too. You know, we don't just grapple and take people down. We throw hands here too. So I know for me, I'm in love with the sport of boxing itself. You know, my grandmother put me onto it, and it's just I want to see it grow. I don't want to see I don't want to see it planted over in the UK because I just can't do it, bro. We need it back here. We gotta let Eddie and them know that, you know, the United States is a force to be reckoned with, and we need it back here. And if Albuquerque can take the crown and bring it back over, I don't care who do it, but it need to be back here.
Yeah. Angelo Leo's representing, you know, he'll be fighting in Japan, defending his title, and you know, we hope to be the next in line.
Yeah, we don't want no. We need them Japanese belts. We need them Ukrainian belts. Whatever other country them belts is in, they need to come back here so we got the bargaining power. Come get them. We ain't trying to hear. We're not trying to hear Sweet Caroline all day, bro.
I like that song.
Yeah, so yeah, he's already got another fight. That's going to be on Stephanie Hahn's first title defense. So that's going to be another big card, man. So
Yeah,
kind of
what was
cool,
it?
man. Like he's developing two cities fan bases, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, there's no other fighter doing that from out here, bro. He's tapped into the Albuquerque fan base. Everybody loves Andres, bro. Huge fan base, Albuquerque, and he's got a fan base and family in El Paso, bro.
Well,
That's
you know
cool.
what? At his last fight, Stephanie Hahn came up from El Paso and she told me right away. First thing she said was, Jacob, they loved him down there. My brother, ABQ, he fought the title. AB told me that he stole the show. Everybody loves him. El Paso's talking about him. And,
Yeah.
and so, we're just excited as to be in El Paso as we are excited to be back home. But point being is both towns are buzzing about Andres. And when you see him, you'll know why.
He's not much. He's not much for words, but I'll tell you right now, he's gonna make a big when he goes down there. He's gonna make a big when he goes down there.
Don't stop there. Hey, you got a home field advantage in 2 spots.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been blessed. Watch out.
Yeah, home field
El
advantage.
Paso got the better food, though. That's all I gotta say, bro.
No, the better what?
Got the better food, the comida.
Oh,
man.
What spot?
They're lacking green chili, bro.
You're
They're
gonna
lacking
start,
green chili.
you're gonna start
Tacos. Yeah.
Hilarious.
I guess Chico's went downhill, but you know,
I always say, boxing mirrors life. Everything you have in that ring, you have in life. The blood, the
Oh, yeah.
sweat, the tears, the hard work, the dedication. You get what you give. Treat someone like you want to be treated. It mirrors life. Exactly. Same thing. And we're on a mission, I tell you.
Hey, well, let me translate something for all the people out there in my community. They put green chili on everything, bro. It's like hot sauce for us. There you go. There's a translation for it. The green
It's
chili,
green chili. It's not jalapeno. It's green chili. It's different.
yeah, it's green chili. It's not. Yeah, what he said.
I had a Blake's today. I had a Blake's burger. I had a bunch of green chili, bro.
Yeah, bro. I love it, man. I ain't gonna hold you. It's good, but I don't put it on everything.
Next time we fight here in town in Albuquerque, you got to come down and go to El Paso. Check out the next show.
Hey, man, I don't know. I'm
Oh, you gotta
a
make it down
little bit worried about going to Albuquerque. I done been to a lot of places. Like I done seen Kensington Street in Philly. I didn't seen the stuff in Baltimore.
Showed him Central. I showed him a video on Central.
Yeah, I was like, the Skywalker's supposed to have you, bro.
The war zone.
Boys back. Skywalker probably take you to the most dangerous place in the sea. Like, yeah, man, over there, that's where they got. Oh, come on, bro. Yeah, I need. I need some VIPs somewhere, bro. Don't take me and put me in danger.
It's beautiful out here.
Our guy's got a really good left hook. He's got a really good left hook.
In El Paso, you can go down to El Paso, start there, and work your way up.
Yeah, I'm with the hands team, y'all. Don't.
Yeah. I was telling him, yeah, the war zone's like Kensington. Exactly. There you go.
Yeah, Albuquerque. I've been there a couple of times to play the basketball tournament out there, but I didn't lead a base. I didn't lead a base.
It's beautiful though. We have beautiful mountains and nice views, man. It's just
There's a lot of places that look really amazing from afar.
Yeah.
Like on Horizon and stuff like that. But when you actually get there,
yeah, lock your car door.
So
that's again. So David, I mean, was boxing could you say that boxing saved your life?
Facts. We see that a lot in this camp. Facts. So my dad was in prison when I was a kid, and he was in the big riot in Santa Fe, and they transferred him out to California. So we moved out there short after. But when I moved out there, I was getting in a lot of trouble as a kid, and then I started fighting out of Stockton PYA, or also known, some people know that as Fat City Boxing Gym in Stockton, California. And so then I trained out of there, fought out of there, moved back over here with Dre. But if it weren't for boxing, I would have been getting in trouble. I have a lot of friends who are dead. I have a lot of friends who are in prison, and I'm fortunate to be able to tell a story at least. And yeah, I am half blind, but I'm fortunate enough to meet people like Dre, who, you were talking about kids. He brings his
Mhm.
kid in every day, his daughter in every day here when he trains, and she sits there and she watches patiently. You can't just make this stuff up, man. He's a great guy. He's gonna be a champ, and I'm really high on him. Or I wouldn't even do this. I train my son here to keep him out
Yeah.
of trouble. So I'm splitting my time in half, and I really have high hopes for him.
Mm.
Hey,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Andreas, man, hey, I wanted one more, Josh. My bad. Hey,
No,
so with him saying that, do you have a plan for after boxing? Like, are you into real estate? Maybe selling houses or fixer uppers, home flipping. Like, what do you have a backup plan?
I honestly I want to get into stuff like that once, what I mean, later on. I thought about getting into like cutting hair, um, personal training and stuff like that, but nothing like really solid yet, to be honest.
no, that's good. Yeah, you got time to build up on that. And I was gonna note there, yeah, with your daughter being there to gym, hey, she's gonna want to lace them up here as well, man. She's gonna want to lace them up here at some point. You down with that?
I kind of hope so. 'Cause she be watching, and then sometimes she be trying to hit the bags, but she gets too shy. So once I start getting too hyped up, she's like, "Ah, never mind. I don't want to do it no more."
Awesome. But that's a good thing right there. I imagine that's extra motivation there. Just knowing, you're building towards something more than just yourself there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Dre is special. Marshall, um, Kaufman, that night in El Paso, when we unveiled him there, he found out
Oh,
why I
yeah.
was telling him he was special. And I can't wait to share him with the rest of the boxing world. It's special. I'm telling you. I've seen some special fighters. And this kid's special.
Yeah. Got a special, and then on top of that, you got a special team behind him, man. So
Oh, yeah.
sky's the limit. And you got a lot of support in Albuquerque, man. Shout out to Christian Cabral. He came in and said, "Go get them, Dre." Yoruba Moreau.
Yeah,
You know,
Maru was in here.
got working with him too. Yeah, man. So yeah,
And there's a
definitely.
lot of up and coming fighters out here too. So
Yeah.
Yoruba Maru Jr. I mean, I've
Yeah.
known him since he was 6 years old, and him and I have a bond that will never be broken. And I wish them nothing but the best too.
Yeah, they know the stable, huh? You know the Moreau stable guys. Yeah, they've interviewed him.
Mhm.
Those are my boys right there. They're family to me.
It's a good celebration when they come in here to the JSC boxing gym. You see, we have a lot of sparring sessions going on when they come.
Yeah, you ain't got to go far to get work. Was what it looked like.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's got all the help he needs here.
Oh,
Yeah, man. A lot of people love Andres, man. Isaiah Aguilar's in the house. A lot of people, man. They're always, I do a lot of media for him, so they're always, like, yeah, did you go to? Are you gonna go to Andres' fight in El Paso? So I'm already committed to his next fight in July. I've already told my wife we gotta go back to my hometown. We gotta go see Andres. So I've been to Andres. I've been his first two against Maximus. Then I went. Then and he was supposed to fight on a legacy card, but then the opponent pulled. And then so I've been to 4 of his fights already, bro. So that's pretty dope. I didn't go to your first fight, Andres, but I'm planning on going to all your fights, bro.
that's awesome.
And Max
Yeah.
is also a special fighter as well. I sparred with Max before, so
Yeah.
let me tell you, for him to fight Max that's not an easy feat. Man.
Yeah, he's really good. Shout out to Maximus. Yeah, because I actually when I started doing media, he was the first. Him and Josh Pitbull Torres was the first gym I went to. So I didn't even know Andreas. So I wasn't technically like, but when I found out, like hey, this kid's from my hometown, he looks good in there. Like this guy got heart, put on an amazing show, bro. So every time he fights, it's always exciting, bro.
Yeah, he gains new fans. You can't help. You can't help but be attracted to him, especially if you're a boxing fan. If you're a boxing fan, you see something special. And,
Stephanie Hahn, when I was doing media for Legacy this past weekend, I spoke to Stephanie, and first thing she did was ask me if I was gonna come to her next fight and for Andres, and she was just asking about you, Andres, right away, bro. So I was like, hey, that's cool, bro. This is the champ. I already knows about. She thought I just told her I do media, you know what I mean? Because she thought I was part of the team. But I was like, of course, I got love for the team, but I'm a media guy. So,
Skywalker, yeah, he
well,
said, yeah,
we
man.
consider you part of the team, buddy.
yeah, I definitely am, man. Team Dre all day, bro. I won't ever root against my boy, man.
Skywalker said he offering deep tissue massages. You know what I'm saying? $50. I'm just playing.
I'm from the same hometown as Andreas too, so we're like transplants, It's like Albuquerque's a dope city, man. I got a lot of love for the community, man. I think it's a better boxing community here in Albuquerque than El Paso, bro. I think, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And there's Ray Lopez. Introduce yourself real quick, Ray.
I wanted to show you
The
statue of Johnny Coffey that's here at the gym.
Oh, he's upside down.
Yeah, doing the backflip.
Doing his black flip.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's
It's a statue. Hey, there's Ray Lopez. Ray, tell everybody who you are, man. I've already interviewed you, but tell my guys and everybody that's listening who you are and your involvement with boxing in Albuquerque.
Well, I'm Ray Lopez, the owner of the JSC Memorial Boxing Gym. I got back into boxing. I fought back in the 70s, and I got back into boxing when David called me up from California to let me know that he was going to turn pro. So I was so excited for him that I thought he was going to turn pro in California. He told me that he wanted to come to New Mexico and turn pro. So we moved him here. He moved in with us, and at the time his ex-wife and kid were still in California, so he lived with me for quite some time, and we got involved with Danny Romero. That's where our career started as a pro. And thereon, we moved along. We ended up meeting great talent throughout our process, different coaches, and hooked up with one of the greatest coaches that I think is Sergio Chavez, who actually moved David along. With Pops, he was looking for a gym so David could have his own gym. And he was going to rent a location out in Bernalillo, which is about 25 minutes away from here. And I just brought up the idea, why don't we just build a gym in my property? And he's like, you're willing to give up your property? And I said, yeah. You're willing to put a gym there in your property? So it became a reality. David and I shared this whole gym together. We've been to Dublin, Ireland. Went out there and fought Bernard Dunn. We've had great times together.
Yep, we're no joking. We're coming. I'm telling you.
That's cool.
That is awesome, hey, and that's a good thing. Yeah, you're doing for the city, the sport in general, and stories like that need to be heard for sure. So you're appreciated.
Yeah. As you guys were talking earlier, this is a family gym. So we like our fighters when they come in here to train to bring your kids. This is part of the family, and I've enjoyed that since I started working with David. Right now, you can see me holding my side because I broke my ribs last night. So,
man.
No fun.
You can't be taking damage like that. You can't just take damage like that. You feel me? Like ribs, they don't heal up as fast.
No, I've had broken ribs in the gym. You know, I've lost every fight to the gym, not to the fighters, but to the gym.
Where it goes down.
But if you guys are interested, the Tapia statue's for sale. All you got to do is buy it and ship it.
It should be in the museum.
We tried to get it into the Jack Candelaria Community Center here. We've tried to get it into the airport and had no success. So it looks like it might be going back to Philly. And I'm going to give it to Pop's grandson.
So why shouldn't Albuquerque have a boxing museum or Hall of Fame? You guys have some incredible talent that have come out of there. You guys most definitely should have some sort of museum or place where you can take local boxing clubs to get the history of Albuquerque and know the fighters that came through there. You guys most definitely should have one of them, and there's business opportunities associated with that.
Well, there's a community center here that's being remodeled, so it's displaced a lot of the teams, and we were hoping that that statue would go there, but I don't know what's going on with that. It's city owned. I don't know what happened there.
I was in negotiations with the mayor and his staff, and I inherited that statue from Pop Stom Kriegel, who had it made. So he always wanted it at the airport. The city doesn't want it at the airport. So then we were in negotiations to put it in East San Jose. And I've been looking for the letter that was given to me by Mr. Kriegel's wife that I inherited the statue. Well, I know I gave a copy to the city because I got the MOU from the city because I had to pull that statue out of another community center because I was supposed to keep up with the insurance, which didn't seem right because the city had it. So the city should have the insurance.
Yeah.
So I was trying to negotiate to put it in the East San Jose Community Center. And just because I can't find that piece of paper, which the city has a copy of it, they won't accept it over there.
FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. Anytime you do any business with the city, all you have to do is file a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, and then they have to provide the documents because it's a matter of public record. So you can get the copy of that back. If they don't have a copy of it, then they would be in violation of the law. So you can
they got a copy of it because that's how I was able to get the statue back. Appreciate all of you guys. Thank you, Sky, for bringing all these gentlemen into our gym today. We got one hell of a team right here.
Yeah, you guys do.
Yes.
Amazing team. I gotta let the world know, man. This is a international channel. We got people tuned in from Australia, from the Philippines, from everywhere. And we're live on 86. We're live on Mo Boxing. We're live on different channels, so more exposure. Let the world know who Andres Rey, that Jacob Maes is gonna take him to that next level, man. We already know that. And he's in good hands with David Martinez and Ray Lopez right here, man. So it's gonna be awesome.
Serge is still part of our team. He's
much love first to Sergio too, man.
He's consulting us, guiding
got a
us.
hell of a reputation in town too, like one of the best reputations as far as coaches. You know what I'm saying?
Or he's one of the best boxing men you'll ever meet, and he's one of the best, classiest man you'll ever meet. He's a hell of a guy. I've known him since I was 10 years old, Met him at the gym. He was one of my first idols, and he's still my idol.
So just to let you guys know, I've had a bunch of the greats come through here, like Johnny Tapia trained here. Ollie Holmes, the ring that you're looking at, Ollie Holmes gave to me when I built the gym. We've had Lucia Riker come through here. So we've had a lot of great fighters come through here.
A lot of history in that gym. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Now we got our future great fighter with Andres Rey. That's going to be our next chap.
In the future, David Martinez' son too. David Martinez III.
Yeah, and then we got my nephew David Martinez III. That's he's got somebody good behind him like Jake right now. And so it's a matter of just building them up, getting them through the amateurs, and he's already got a pro style. He's sparred a bunch of the pros.
Yeah, he's as spars with nothing but the best. Chris, Matt, all these guys, man.
It's the iron. Iron sharpens iron. That's they got a formula. They know what they're doing over there. You know what, Jacob? I feel like me, Skywalker, Josh, Mo Boxing. I feel like all of us have this one thing in common. We are pretty much addicted to wanting to see other people be successful at what they love. And so we're just simply the catalyst to try to get them there. And we got all that in common.
That's
That's
my
it.
same formula too. You know,
Yeah, that's it.
that's my passion. What you guys' passion is, mine is, except it's a different angle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. Yours is through media, mine is through helping a young fighter or helping a fighter achieve what they want to achieve.
You're building them to become a world champ. That's what's up, man.
Mhm.
Hey, Andres, man, like I said, hey, man, we need to see about that marketing. We need to see that media presence. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
People need to know who you are. And unfortunately, there's a digital world that exists and it dominates everything. And you gotta become a part of it
Yeah, I
in
feel.
order to
Man,
see the success.
doing the interviews is always the toughest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sponsors on there, you know.
You know what you can do too, Andres, too, is maybe get someone in the gym, even teach Ray, or even Jacob, man. You guys just get video clips, man. Be consistent with uploading, bro. Like little highlights, throw you music with it. You know what I'm saying? Put your little touch of style to it. You don't have to say nothing. You can just show what you're working on, and you can create content like that and get a following off of that too. You know?
We just started working with someone that's going to help out with that.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And do know there, Andres, yeah, it's everybody starts here in terms of whether they're introverts, extroverts, no matter what the case is, they all start just building that name from the ground up, so you'll get even better with the experience. As you do more, it'll start to just come to you.
Right, yeah, that's true.
And I want to give a shout out to Chantel Martinez. That's who's going to be helping us. She has a magazine here in town, a Loud Cloud magazine, and she's a hustler, and we're proud that she's coming on board.
Nice.
Shout out.
Yeah, it is. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, guys, much love to you, man. Let's go July. Huh?
Team keeps growing.
Oh yeah. That's a good stuff. They got good foundation there. Love to see it for sure.
So July, back in El Paso, King's Promotions. You can catch Andres Rey. Tickets are already on sale. You're gonna have them on hand too, right, Jacob?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's links on our social media, and then we're gonna have some tickets on hand as well. But we invite everybody to come down there. Like I said, if you want to see something special in the making, and so the last two shows, he stole the show. I'm thinking about changing his name to the Show Stealer.
Hey,
The
good one.
Showstopper. That sounds pretty good too.
Yeah.
Hey man, y'all listen. I'm gonna tell you how I think. Everybody else, all our fans know, if I was fighting, and I would not have I wouldn't have a nickname. I'm taking whatever your nickname is, and you are not allowed to use it after I beat you. And the next person I beat, whatever, that's my name now. I own it. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. This is Mark, like buying EdgarBerlanga.com, like, and then it being your page, like that's funny stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just funny marketing things I be thinking about sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's mine now. Fuck.
Yeah, your nickname is mine now, boy.
Oh yeah. No doubt. Hey, I had one quick question. Because I was thinking about it earlier. In terms of weight and where you're fighting there, Andres, just in general, I see you fought at 130 and 135. Which weight is going to be sort of that ultimate weight of pursuit for y'all? You're going to be operating at lightweight, or how does that feel in terms of you willing to go down to 130 depending on the opportunity?
Yeah, it depends. I think we're gonna stay at 35.
Okay.
I mean, 130 has been kind of tough, but this last camp I was able to get down pretty easy. So I don't know. I think it just depends.
I think we're gonna settle in at 135. Yeah, that's where we're gonna settle in at.
Oh, that's good to go then. Yeah, I was just wondering about that, and of course that is a top-notch division there, glamour division there, 135. So good stuff there.
We got some glamour to add for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. Oh, yeah. And thank you for your time there for sure. Good meeting all of you.
And it's an
Yeah,
honor.
Yeah, thank you.
It's an honor. Thank you guys.
I got the social media scrolling on the bottom too. I got Jacob Maes. You can follow him on Facebook and Instagram at Jacob. And on Instagram is Jacob Maes 9, I believe. Here it comes. Jacob Maes, IG Jacob.Maes.9. And then Andreas is Dre _Da Rula, THRULA _ Dre Da Rula. And then we got David Martinez. It's gonna be I am David Martinez, right? On Instagram, David. And that's where you can find these guys.
And mine and Jacob Maes on Facebook.
Yeah, Jacob Maes, Maes on Facebook. And scrolling on the bottom too. I got your Instagram up too.
Thank you guys.
Or just come down to JSC Boxing Gym.
Come to the gym.
Yeah. John S. Craigo, boxing gym, man. Awesome JSC gym. Ray Lopez. Much love to Ray Lopez. I hope he heals up, man, from his injury.
And like I told you guys, the more blood in the gym, the less blood on the streets. So
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good quote.
Yeah, man. I wish you nothing but the best, Andres. I'll be at your next fight. I'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, brother.
I'll come visit you guys.
Yeah, Skywalker be looking down on people who's 6'4", just casting a shadow over everybody.
Hey, once this whole podcast thing is over with, everything's all said and done. Grass is mine. I'll tell you right now.
Oh, y'all got something else going on over there.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
You better smile while you can.
Yeah. All right, guys. Much love to everybody.
50 burpees.
Challenge for sure.
You got 50 burpees.
Wow, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good to you.
Don't give me
All
any
right,
idea.
We'll give it
Appreciate
to you.
your time. Thank you.
You-